from the starter stand. They come off of turn number 4, and we are underway as they head down into turn number 1. Hirschman looking for the lead off of 2.
You have two buddies battling it out here for the first lap supremacy as they rocket into turn number 1, and Matt is going to jump out in front quick off turn number 2 as they make their way off the number 4 corner.
Off the corner they come, and Colby puts his number 10 up into the 4th position. Caution flag is out. Russ Hersey around over turns 3 and 4, and we are slowed up for the first time for the 6 of Hersey, the West Swansea, New Hampshire native, going around.
Has a borrow ride from one of the regular competitors up at the Monadnock Speedway in their modified sportsman division or sportsman modified division, whichever. And like I said, I talked to him earlier, and he was just coming down here to see how things could be.
The center of the infield, and we're ready to rock and roll one more time. We have 2 laps up on the board. 100 green flag laps is the distance as they roll off of 4. Hirschman elects the top side. Green flag is out as he heads down into turn number 1 and again gets the jump. This time Kobe trying to follow with him.
Look at that number 9 car on the hunt. On the outside, Chase Dowling hooking it up on the outside of the 14 car as they go side by side down the back straightaway, and they roar off of turn number 4.
Off the corner they come, and Roby's still hanging tight down on the inside, while the 10 of Kobe works up top down the back straightaway. They're Nerf bar to Nerf bar down into 3. Ronnie Silk right there in 4th. Justin Bonsignor rounds out the top 5. Behind them, you've got Chase Dowling, Blake Barney, Les Hinckley, Anthony Nocella, and Dylan Izzo, your top 10.
They call them the ground pounders for good reason, and we can feel the vibration of these cars as they come down the front straightaway. Nothing like it. Modifieds at Seacott, nose to tail right now. Les Hinckley, he's right up behind Blake Barney in the number 14 car. See what his plan is. He generally is in that area in the running order in the early stage of the race. See what he has at the end.
Only 8 laps in, and right now it's a time to ride around, get a feel for the car, pick up a position here and there when you can, but more importantly, save the tires for the second half of the race. That's what a lot of the teams will do. And if you look back in the field, they're stacked up side by side. Austin Koshinash in that number 66 working the outside of Ronnie Williams, and the 50C of Joey Cipriano.
$10,000 on the nose. Moneybags continues to lead the early going here. And they're coming up on lap number 11.
One car starting to work his way up through is that number 21, Angelo Belcito, in his first tri-track race here. Takes a look to the inside of Dylan Izzo. That is the battle just for the top 10 as he works the inside, takes that spot away, and now looks ahead to Anthony Nocella. Belcito, a former Pro Stock champion here at Seacott, trying to work himself up through the field and put a good show on. A little further up the track, take a look at that battle for third. Roby still holds on to that spot in that black number 25, but Ronnie Silk working the inside there. Silk takes a look down to the inside. They go side by side off at turn 2, racing for that third position.
And doing a pretty good job of it side by side through the corners as that continues to occur. Now you've got Silk moving solid into the third position, and a good run out of the corner off turn number 2, and Roby is forced to work it.
Kobe is sitting there following Hirschman down into turn 1. You got to wonder if he's saving anything or if he's pushing Matt to go a little faster than he wants to and burn up his tires early. They come off of turn 4, battle for 5th as Ronnie Williams works the inside, and that Chase Dowling in that number 9 takes that spot away just behind Justin Bonsignor in the 00 as Roby falls back into the 6th spot. The field now stretching itself out around the 3rd mile, and they're about a straightaway behind the tail end of the field, which happens to be the number 3 of Matt Galco. Galco sitting at the tail end just behind Russ Hersey, who brought out that first caution. 20 laps up on the board this time across the stripe, 1/5 of the way through, and Ronnie Silk is now closing in on the top two drivers. He's closed that distance down to 2 car lengths as they hit turn number 3. A little further back, Anthony Nocella taking a spot away from the 21, from the 06 of Les Hinckley, and Angelo Belcito follows through as well. So Hinckley has fallen back into the 10th position. Nocella now up to 8th. Blake Barney in the number 14 sitting 7th on the field as your leaders thunder off of turn number 2. Justin Bonsignor holding on to that 4th position, a car length ahead of Chase Dowling. Chase in the Vendaggio number 9, the S&S Concrete Forms machine right up on his tail. Brian Roby sliding back just a little bit, about 3 car lengths back. Anthony Nocella on the move, a little further back on the field as they come off of turn number 2. He gets by Blake Barney. He is up into the 7th spot. And Angelo Belcito not able to follow through. He's got to settle in behind that red number 14. Problems for Ronnie Williams in the number 25 as he is slowed on the front straightaway. The 50 of Cipriano, the 18 of Zachem had to make evasive moves as Ronnie Williams, the defending race winner, heading back into the pit area.
That's a tough break for Ronnie and the Gary Casella team. Roscoe Racing, something obviously
Trouble
is
off
a
of
miss.
4.
Yes.
Russ Hersey, it goes around. The back end snaps out from under. Manfredo looking him over. A slow pace through the corner. Up on the throttle they come. Green flag is out. Berkman gets a good jump on the start as they roll down into 1. Roby gets a run down low. They race into 3 and 4 side by side for that 2nd position.
He is in that number 92, running in the 4th position.
And he always loves coming back home to Seekonk. This is his home track where he's had a lot of laps turned. Still looking for that first victory here as he rolls down in that 4th position. Kobe back to 3rd. Barney looking underneath Belcito as they go side by side. Belcito's now able to shut the door in that 5th spot down the back stretch. Barney in 6th. 7th is Cipriano. Beers is 8th. And no, you're not seeing double as those are twin. 2nd, Kobe trying to get a run on Roby. Look at the crossover move off of 2.
Impressed with Barney, youngster out of New Jersey. Quite an accomplished hockey player. Right now, he's working the outside. Everyone's downstairs. Good job there, side by side, hitting into turn number 3.
Kobe still looking to that inside lane, not able to get the run. Watch him as he comes off the corner. A good run down the backstretch, but as he hits the corner, he slides up the racetrack just a little bit, slides it back down low. This time he's got the run underneath Roby. That's the battle for 2nd. Down into turn number 2. Wheel to wheel down the back straightaway with Nocella in tow.
Roby doing a heck of a job on the outside through 3 and 4 as they dribble off that number 4 corner. Got to be impressed with this kid from Sunapee, New Hampshire. His nose right in there with the heavy guns and modified racing competition today. And you are watching it live from Seekonk Speedway on Speed 51 TV.
Matt Hirschman has opened up a nice comfortable advantage over the field. 7 car lengths over Doug Kobe. Kobe, however, has a lot of pressure from behind. Nocella knocking on the back door there, and behind them, look at the 21 of Belcito taking a look to the inside of Roby. They go side by side off of turn 4. Behind them is Joey Cipriano in the 50C. They race off of turn number 2. 3 cars in a dogfight for that 4th position.
And it certainly is a 3-car battle coming out of turn number 4. Down the chute. Heading into turn number 1. And you still have that battle going on. Belcito's there. Brian Roby, Cipriano in the 50 car trying to make his thing. Trying to crank that up here and make his way towards the front of the field. Look at the number 76. That is Kirk Alexander, who was a front runner in this show back when it started many years ago. His own race car. And he's doing a good job right there in that 74. He's got a long way to go, but he's starting to pass cars back there.
And working that outside lane, he battles with the 6 of Woody Pitkat. Blake Barney has slid back up on the outside, all the way outside of the top 15. Up front, just a handful of laps ago, Matt Hirschman had a 7-car length advantage. That has gone away as he now only has a car length between he and Kobe as they come off of turn number 4. The field stretches themselves out. 45 laps are complete, 5 laps shy of the halfway.
Sixth through 10th is Roby. 7th is Austin Beers. In the 8th position right now is Matt Swanson. Justin Bonsignor currently in the 9th spot. Max Zackham has wheeled the number 18 modified into a top 10.
They currently sit right behind Justin Bonsignor as they head down into turn 1. Look at the battle behind them. Richard Savory working the inside lane of Dylan Izzo down the back straightaway. Savory in that silver and red 99. And behind him is Chase Dowling in that black and white number 9. Ronnie Silk in that silver and black 16 with the orange numbers, all trying to work their way up through the field after an early pit stop. We are 1 lap shy of halfway. Matt Hirschman leads it down into 3 and 4. Cross flags are out. 50 down, 50 to go. Hirschman, Kobe, your top 2. Nocella is 3rd. Belcito is 4th. And Joey Cipriano is your top 5.
And the leaders are going to be bearing down on the tail end of the field, which should or could make things very interesting, Kevin.
Well, between Matt and Doug at the top of the field, neither one of those 2 drivers are strangers to traffic. I've seen them work it like masters. We'll see what happens as they close in. They're about a half a straightaway behind the 07 of Tommy Barrett. And if Tommy's been saving his tires like he's been known to do, right about now is when he starts his charge. But man, he's got a long way to go and only a half a time to get there.
.53 laps on the board. Make it 54 now. A racetrack that I strongly feel, and a lot of people do, seems to have been built for modifieds.
You know, this racetrack originally built for midgets back in 1946. It lends well to the modified racing as Chase Dowling had to chase his car up in turn 1 and 2 just a half a lap ago. He came down the front straightaway, seesawing back and forth on that steering wheel and had to chase it up the racetrack. Hirschman starts to put just a little bit of breathing room between he and Kobe. Starting to push it just a little bit harder as he closes in. Trouble as O'Donnell goes around off of turn number 4 just in front of. Meanwhile, Bonsignor in the 00 working that outside, battling with Swanson.
Nocella stays right behind the leader. And looks like he almost went right up behind him.
Off of turn number 4 they come, and look at Bonsignor work that outside. Swanson still right there, trouble on the front stretch. Everybody scrambling, but making it through down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, let's get back to that battle up front. Here comes Chase Dowling down underneath Bonsignor, taking that 4th spot away.
And Dowling looked to the inside on the back straightaway. Unable to get anything going, but right behind. Still got a lot of good racing going on over the 4 or 5 cars behind him.
And Dowling closing in on that 3 for that 3rd spot. But a little further back, you've got 3 cars vying for position. The 76 of Kirk Alexander. He is battling with Joey Cipriano in the 50 up on the outside. Ronnie Silk right behind them as they come through 3 and 4. Dowling for 3rd, down to the inside of Swanson. Takes the spot away. Swanson settles back into 4th.
Looking back through, Kevin, Savory is in the 6th spot.
Trouble down the backstretch as Kirk continues to hold off the challenges. Saving that car for the end when he needed it the most. Dowling, however, right now, as they cross the stripe, taking a look at the timing and scoring, once again, 0.05 of a second difference. And Hirschman, who's won this race 3 times, he's won here a half a dozen times in the Tri-Track Modifieds, knows this track very well and knows how to save it for the end. And that's exactly what he seems to be doing here this evening.
That was quick off turn number 2. I watched him pull a 9 car. See if it happens again. Here he goes. But we've got traffic coming up. Gonna get good here.
12 laps remaining, and down the backstretch they go, closing in on the 76 of Kirk Alexander, the 14 of Blake Barney, the first 2 on the hit list, as Josh Manfredo throws the passing flag out for the back end of the field. What will they do? Will they hold up the 60 and give Dowling a chance? They come off of 4. Dowling goes around Alexander, no issues there. Single digits, 9 laps this time across, and Matt Hirschman in control as he leads it down into 3 and 4. Field has stretched itself out. Those who pitted late are coming to the party a little bit too late. Nocella with a great job holding on to 3rd with Savory and Cipriano rounding out the top 5. Ronnie Silk is 6th. As they close in down the backstretch, the 14 of Blake Barney is the next one in line. And then it starts to get interesting. But there's only 6 laps remaining. How much will it come to play? As they head down the back straightaway, Hirschman takes a look to the outside of the 14. Dowling in control. You know, their spotters are on the radios full time telling them what's going on.
For sure, exiting the second corner, Matt's going to go to the outside of the 14 car. Dowling right up behind him off of the corner.
Takes a look down low as they hit turn 1. Battle for the lead down the back straightaway. Chase Dowling trying to use the lap traffic to his advantage. Gets underneath Blake Barney right behind him off of 4. 3 laps remaining, and it's a dead heat at the stripe. 0.05 of a second was the difference as they roll down the back straightaway. Dowling trying to squeeze it up, using the Nerf bar off of turn number 4. 2 to go.
Unbelievable finish here, tri-track style, as you've got Matt working the high side, Chase working the low side behind the 14 car. They are going to get the white flag, and there it is. 1 more lap to go. How is this final lap going to turn out?
Hirschman used Barney as a pick and used it perfectly as they hit turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag high in the air. Matt Hirschman picks up win number 4 in the Open Wheel Wednesday Speed 51 Modified Madness. Second place to Chase Dowling. Anthony Nocella 3rd. Richard